It's an absolute monster.
This giant beast. Isn't this thing so cool? So yeah, this is our X-T3 with the GoPro Hero 9 on top. And yeah, this is a massive gimbal. So we're gonna do some tests to see just how stable it is, and then we'll break it down for you, each piece of it, later on in the video.
What is the name of this gimbal?
Oh yeah, this is the Zhiwin. We call it Zhiyun, but I think it's actually called Zhiwin. I'm not Chinese, I don't know. The Crane 2S. So this gimbal is currently in locked mode, and that's actually one of the great things about this gimbal is that when you're transporting it around, you can lock each axis so that it's not like flopping around all over the place. So before you turn it on and use it, you need to go through and unlock each axis. Oops, right there. There. And it takes a little bit of practice to remember exactly where they all are. I'm missing one more. Here. There we go. So I did my best to balance this. It's a lot easier without all this extra stuff on top, but when you add the extra camera, and then we also have a focus wheel here, then it really throws off the balance. And so I did what I could. It's not perfect, but when you power it on, take a little second, but there we go. It balances really, really well. Ah, it's so cool. But yeah, this does have a few extras, so the gimbal itself doesn't come with them, but you can get the Pro package, and that comes with this extra handle here, which gives you a little bit more stability, and also the follow focus wheel, and then this little mount to add an extra camera on top. You can actually add a camera even bigger than this, but this is already heavy enough, honestly, so we're just gonna go with the GoPro. And the nice thing of having the camera on top is that they can give you some behind the scenes or like a wide angle shot, and you can point it forward or backward.
One thing I can tell is this smoother gimbal than any other one we've had. It's a lot more technology on it, I'm guessing. Bigger motor and everything.
So the other gimbals that we have the original Zhiwin Crane and also the Weebill Lab S, or the Weebill S. And yeah, those are the two. And then we also have the Moza Mini P. And those, I think the Crane is meant to hold some bigger cameras, but not like this. I think this one has a slightly bigger payload even than the original Crane.
According to some people out there, you're not a real vlogger unless you're carrying this much.
Oh my gosh, I'm in vlogging mode right now. Here's what it would look like. Hello, my friends. I am walking through the woods trying to vlog with this behemoth of a camera rig, and my arms are killing me. So, goodbye.
What is that, like 45 pounds?
So, if you're gonna use gimbals, you better work out. Like, seriously. the Zhiwen Crane 2S gimbal, and it might look really intimidating, but that's because we have a lot of extra accessories because we have the Pro version, which comes with a few goodies. So now we're going to break down each piece of this and break it down to the original gimbal that you would get normally. So the first piece we have is right here, and this adds a secondary handle for extra stability. We're going to take it off. Really easily done, just undo this front screw and there you have it. So this is officially called the Transmount Crane 2S Sling Grip Handle, and it comes with the Pro package. The next piece we have is the Transmount Crane 2S Dual Cam Extension Module. So that's this part here that's holding up the GoPro currently, but you can actually put any kind of camera. They actually recommend a smaller camera like an A6000 or something of that size, but in this case we're using our GoPro because we just like using the GoPro. And so to remove this, you just go over to this side here, twist, push in, and slide this piece out. So here's the mount with the GoPro on it, but again, you can replace this with just about any other small camera. And this part actually slides into the mount where you would normally mount your camera if you wanted to shoot vertical video, which we'll talk about in just a second. The next part is actually my favorite part aside from the gimbal, and that is the Transmount Focus Zoom Control Motor. So this part is a little hard to do backwards, but basically, you want to undo this section here, just take this screw off entirely, and then also unplug it from the gimbal. So this is the little piece that when connected to your gimbal and your gimbal is powered on, you can control the focus or the zoom ring of your lens. And we found this super helpful. It's again, probably our favorite feature aside from the gimbal itself. The other component to the motor is actually here around the lens, and you actually have to physically attach this to your lens. You either attach it to the zoom ring or the focus ring, depending on what you want to control. And it's very easy. Just simply snap it out, and here is the rubber piece. The final piece of the Pro system is the Transmount Image Transmission System. This device connects to your camera via the HDMI port. After connected, you can use the ZY Play app on your phone to turn your phone's screen into a live view monitor to better see your video as you're shooting. So after we've removed all of the accessories, we're left with the gimbal. And this is what you would normally get if you just got the Crane 2S by itself without the Pro package. So now we've gone over some sample footage in the field and also shown you some accessories that you can get to go along with your Zhiwen Crane 2S. I'm not going to go over exactly how to set up this gimbal because it is really technical and complicated, and there's actually another guy, I followed all of his tutorials. They were really spot on, so I don't need to reinvent the wheel. I'll leave a link in the description below to his channel, and he's really great at showing you exactly how to set up this gimbal to your liking. But what remains is talking about 7 reasons why this might be the best gimbal for you. Number 1, this gimbal is really big and it's meant to support a heavier camera. We've been shooting a lot of our sample footage with the Fujifilm X-T3 and the X-H1. Those are relatively small cameras, but if you have a bigger camera like a Canon 5D Mark III, any of the Sony full-frame cameras, those should be able to fit really well with this gimbal. And if you have a smaller camera like the X-T3 or the X-H1, you can also use it if you add like a battery grip or a cage and other accessories on the camera. So that's one really great strength about this gimbal. Reason number 2, this is just a really great looking gimbal all around. I remember first unboxing it and just being like, wow, this gimbal looks amazing. I love the black and the gold tones everywhere, and also the use of the carbon fiber on the handle here where the batteries go. It just looks like a really solid and professional gimbal, and I've always liked that about Zhiwen. I think that their design is among the best when it comes to gimbals. Just the little touches like right here, this little S emblem, and even this design here that is pretty standard in all of their premium big gimbals. So it just is a really good looking gimbal. Reason number 3 why this is a great gimbal is that it's relatively intuitive and easy to use. Relative is key here. If you're not familiar with gimbals and haven't used used them before, then your learning curve might be a little bit higher. But even for me, like I own gimbals, but I don't use them very frequently. So I was a little worried about learning how to use this gimbal. But again, I followed some of those video tutorials and I found that it was really easy and intuitive to start shooting with this gimbal right away. So to go along with the ease of use, this gimbal also has a really nice interface built into the handle. It's big and bright, and again, pretty easy to navigate through your settings. That's really nice compared to some of the other gimbals that we've used that are really stripped down. And you know, they're cheaper in price and they're smaller, but they come at the expense of not having an interface on the gimbal, so it can be really tricky to figure out what settings you have. But that is not a problem with this gimbal. The fourth really great feature about this gimbal is how easy it is to go from shooting horizontal video to vertical video and back. That's really important today when a lot of clients or people in general want to be shooting vertical video for TikTok, Instagram stories, all kinds of social media. So it's really easy. When this camera is mounted horizontally, all you have to do is take it off, and then there's a little bracket here for easily inserting it vertically. You're probably going to have to rebalance the camera to fit the gimbal better, but it's relatively easy to do and much easier than having to fiddle with all the controls or take off a plate and readjust it. It's very, very fast and easy. Speaking of ease of use, another really handy feature that they added to this gimbal is the ability to add a tripod plate to the bottom of your camera. So if you take off the bottom bracket of the gimbal, you can actually attach your own tripod plate, no matter which one it is, to the bottom of the camera bracket. And that makes it really easy to detach your camera from the gimbal, put it on a tripod, and put it back in the gimbal without taking a lot of time to take the plates off or just get confused in that whole process. So again, really handy for shooting on the field if you flip a lot between shooting on a tripod and shooting on a gimbal. The next feature is the ability to modify part of this gimbal so that you can better see the screen on your camera. So as the gimbal is right now, if you are using it, then you might notice that part of your screen is blocked based on where the gimbal is right here. That can especially be annoying if you have like a flip out screen and you want to easily be able to see what you're filming. So there are some tools included in the whole package that let you remove part of the center column here. And you can actually move this motor down a little bit so that you can better see your screen. I've decided not to do that in this case, but if you want to do that, it's certainly an option, and really nice that the gimbal will still be fully functional even if you take out part of this column here. And the final reason why this is a great gimbal is that ZY Play app that goes along with the gimbal. This is my third gimbal by Zhiyun, and what I've really loved about their gimbals, besides, you know, the solid construction of them all, is the ease of use with their phone app. It just works really seamlessly with my Android phone. I have a Samsung Galaxy S10, and every single time I want to connect my gimbal to my smartphone app, it does it really quickly and there's never any problem. It's always very easy to control my gimbal with my smartphone. All right, that is all I have for you today. This is the Zhiyun Crane 2S, and again, we have the 2S Pro version as well if you want a lot of the extra features to really take your gimbal to the next level. This is not a cheap gimbal, but it is so well constructed and it holds your gear so well. Like, I don't have any qualms about putting my couple $1,000 cameras on this gimbal because I know that it's super solid and that nothing's gonna happen as long as my arms don't give out while I'm holding it. So thank you for watching. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions about this gimbal. But yeah, until then, this is our new professional gimbal that we'll be using on all of our pro shoots. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video.